Welcome, Mary. I am super excited to have this conversation with you and let our future attendees of the Empower and Elevate conference get to know you a little bit because you're located in Colorado. Am I correct?
I am, yes.
Okay, so some of the locals here might not be as familiar with you, especially if they're new attendees this time around. So go
Yeah.
ahead and introduce yourself.
Yes. Well, thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be a part of Empower and Elevate again. I've been there as an attendee, and I'm so excited to be able to come and have a bigger role this year. I am Mary Gaul, owner of Success Magnified, and I am a business coach for women entrepreneurs. So I work with women, typically solopreneurs up to 5 employees. So what we call micro businesses, right? But they're up to big
Yes.
things in the world. And they maybe, because they're running everything by themselves, they need that thought partner, that somebody to help them untangle the knots and the threads in their head and help
Yes.
them put it into a strategic action plan and then help with accountability. So that's what I get to do every day. I get to put my little fingers and thoughts and guidelines into lots of women's businesses, which I love.
I love that. And it's really interesting because being a solopreneur, or if you are maybe just starting to hire employees, or maybe you're
Yeah.
even just hiring a VA, that
Mm-hmm.
is a completely different hat that you have to put on in addition to your marketing, social media, all the other
Yes.
operations and
Yeah.
all the other hats that you wear. And it can be very overwhelming.
Yes.
And it really does help to have somebody that can keep you accountable and check in with you so that you know that you're not going crazy. Or if you are going crazy, to say,
Yeah.
okay, let's breathe, bring it
Yes.
down.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
because I mean, we can talk to our girlfriends or our spouses or whatever
Hmm.
about that, but if they're not in the same arena, if they're not
Right.
a business owner, maybe they work for corporate or whatever, they're not going to be facing the same struggles that we might be
Right.
facing. So
Right.
it's so important to have that outside help to be able to see
Yes.
your blind spots because we can't see our own blind spots most of the time.
Exactly. Exactly. You can't read the label from the inside the jar or something. There's a couple of
Exactly.
analogies like that, right? So, yes, it's so
Yes.
important. And then I also facilitate peer advisory boards, which are small communities where women can come and have these real level conversations and celebrate our wins together. Because, like you said, if I go to my husband and say, I finally got my website launched, he's like, good for you, right? Doesn't understand
Right.
what it took to get that done. He's a little more
Yes.
enthusiastic than that. But he doesn't understand how hard that is as a business owner to come up with the language and the content and find the vendor and all the stuff, right? So when you talk to other entrepreneurs who have been through that and celebrate with them, it's just a deeper level of celebration. That's what I like about the Elevate or the Empower and Elevate retreat, not retreat, workshop,
Conference.
conference. Thank you. I was like, there's not the right word. Because we get to come together as women entrepreneurs and celebrate being together and
Yes.
celebrate our accomplishments and celebrate the connections that we can make. So I love bringing that celebration piece into it with people who understand what it takes to do what we do.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. And one of the things that struck me the first time that I attended one of the Empower and Elevates was just how these women all show up ready to help each other, ready to share resources, ready to offer, if they have experience in a particular area that you might need help with,
Hmm.
everybody shows up. And it's not like I can't talk to you because we're both, coaches or we're both,
Right.
bankers or what have you. It's everybody shows up and it's just like, no, we can all rise together. And that
Yeah.
is what struck me the most. I mean, I love the speakers. I love the roundtable networking and the swag bags and lunch and all that stuff. But
Yeah.
that's really what I walked away with. I was just blown away with, like, I have never been in a room like that before. And
Nice.
that's what makes us so magical, really. And it's not magic, but at the same time,
Right.
it's just so cool to have a whole day together. We do it twice a year, but have a whole
Hmm.
day together where you're going to meet people from different areas, of the valley. You're going to meet people that live in different states that
Hmm.
have different experiences, but can also offer that, holding your hand if you want somebody to walk with you on this journey, because we shouldn't be
Yeah.
walking alone. We just
Right.
shouldn't.
Right. And we're
So,
all learning so much every day
yes.
just living in this time that we live in, right? So having somebody that maybe is a few steps ahead of you be able to guide you along the way,
Yes.
or they have a resource or a tool or a connection, it's just such a powerful thing when we have that space to have
Yeah.
those conversations and be in proximity with each other. I think that's part of the magic of this conference as well, is that we actually take a whole day away from all of the other distractions of running our business, and we are there to show up for one another and show up for ourselves, right? Which is
Yes.
part of the, there is some magic there, I think. Right, so
Yes. Yes, there
yeah.
is. So tell me why did you choose to do what you do?
Yeah, I worked in corporate world for 30 plus years, right? And then I ran a law firm for 10 years and decided that after 10 years there, I kind of had done everything I could do at this small firm. So I had some friends encourage me to start my own business, and I was like, what would I even do? I had never crossed my
Right.
mind to be an entrepreneur. And then I started a virtual assistant company in 2013 and left the corporate world and jumped into entrepreneurship. And man, so much to learn in that first year of entrepreneurship.
Oh, yes.
I got to a point of being stuck. Luckily, I had a good problem, but I had so many clients coming at me. I could not figure out how to grow, even though that was my role in the corporate world, was helping that company grow.
Right.
I just couldn't see the label for a jar, for being inside the jar, right? Or the forest for the trees, or whatever analogy you want to
Yeah.
use. I just was stuck. It's like, how am I going to get past doing everything myself? Even though I
Yes.
was a virtual assistant, right? So it's so ironic, but it happens every day,
It
right?
happens. That's
And
right.
so, so I hired a business coach. I joined a peer advisory board, and within about 6 months to a year, my business looked completely different. I was able to bring in
Wow.
a team. I was able to, change the way I was pricing and my contracts and all that kind of stuff. And I fell in love with the coaching aspect. And my business coach said, you are doing this for your clients. You're just calling it virtual assistant, but you're also doing a lot of strategy work with them. You're having these higher level conversations with them. You really should consider becoming a business coach. And I was like, what does that look like? So
Right. Yeah.
but then I was like, I really love this piece. So then I got certified in 2015 and became a certified business coach, and launched Success Magnified, which is now 10 years old. And I kept running both
Congratulations.
businesses consecutively for until 2024, when I sold off the virtual assistant company. But I absolutely love entrepreneurship. I love what it can do for women, especially. I love the freedom that we get to create, but also I've seen how you can work really, really hard. I was working harder at my first business than I ever did at my full-time W-2 job, right? I was working way
Right.
more hours, and you're wearing
Yes.
all the hats. And so I understand what it's like when you don't have some support, when you don't have somebody to talk through things with, when you do get stuck and you're not sure what the next step is, and you just keep getting bombarded with information, 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 but it doesn't really help you take the next step, right? So
Right.
so that's what I love about what I do and how I kind of became a business coach, because I needed one myself, right?
Right.
I was a client first, and now I'm a coach. So I really just absolutely love being able to talk to entrepreneurs and help them. One of my favorite things, excuse me, Catherine, is to be able to take ideas that are in somebody's head, and it's just a thought, and then
Hmm.
see that thought become a reality and become a service or become a community or become a book or become whatever it is. I just
Yes.
love being a part of that process. So that's one of the things that I love the most about what I get to do, is just helping people clarify that thought, pull that thought out, and let's do something with it. Let's implement it, right? Which is just so powerful.
Yes. I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. And it's interesting because there was a gal that I met at an Empower and Elevate conference. I think it was a year ago. It may have been like 3 conferences ago, but it was the first time that she was a vendor. And, she was a little bit shy, and she had a marketing company. And I was waiting in line for lunch. And so we started talking, and we just chit chatted a little bit. Well, then the next conference came around, and she had blossomed, just
Nice.
blossomed. And I was like, what? what is different about you? Did you change
Yeah.
your hair? Have you lost weight? What is it? But just to see her growth and like the light turn on because she
Hmm.
attended this conference and saw so many women that were there to support her and offer their resources and just be like a business bestie for her because
Yes.
she kind of felt alone to begin with.
Yes.
And that's one of the things that I just love. Somebody last conference talked about how she was on the panel and she said that she had from the previous conference had come and she hadn't ever even thought about writing a book. And now, 6 months later or however long it's been, she's published her book and she was excited to talk
Nice.
about it. And I'm just like, yes, that is
Yeah.
what I love seeing us empower each other because I think sometimes we don't give ourselves permission to do that, or
Right.
it feels too scary to put ourselves out there. But when we are with other people that are doing it and it's like, okay, I'm not perfect. I don't need to be
Yeah.
perfect because that's me. I was like, no, I can't do this video until it's perfect or
Oh,
I
yeah.
said too many times or it takes me too long to click the off button at the end of the recording. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I remember I was talking with Katrina Sawa, and she was like, "You don't have to edit that out. I don't edit it out." She's like, "I
Right.
just put it out there." And I was like, "It never occurred to me not to have it." You know what I mean? And so I
Yeah.
was like, "Thank you for saying that because you just feel like I should have this perfect
Right.
thing all together and that's not at all what we're expecting of each other, maybe of ourselves, but I
Right.
don't expect you to show up and be perfect. I don't expect you to, have it all together and
Yeah.
have all the right wording and all that stuff. But yet sometimes we expect that of ourselves and it's so
Right.
unfair.
Yes. Yeah. We are our own worst enemies, or our own harshest critics, right? So
Exactly.
that's another thing about being in a room where women are celebrating each other is that it forces us to kind of own how it's like, yeah, I've done that too. I did that. Oh, she's celebrating that. I've done that in my business, right? So it
Yeah.
lets us know that yes, we have accomplished things. Even if we feel like we're
Yes.
behind, somebody else, we're still my daughter has a note in her room that says, you're still lapping, no matter how slow you go, you're still lapping everyone on the couch, right? So it's like, it's
Wow.
okay
That's a good. I love it.
but we forget to celebrate those wins because we think I'm not going fast enough. I'm not doing this, right? But you're
Yes.
still ahead of people that haven't even started yet. So, we
Yes.
just need to give ourselves credit for that.
That's really beautiful. So
Yeah.
you are going to be a spotlight speaker, and I am
Hmm.
so excited to be able to hear you speak because I've never heard it in person.
Yes.
And it's just going to be so much fun to be able to meet you in person because I don't know that
Oh,
I had a chance to meet you when you came before.
I think
So
we met just briefly, but it was a full day with a full room. So I think we
yes,
introduced ourselves, but
yes.
we didn't have a time to have a long chat. So, yeah.
Yes, I'm super excited. So, how can people get a hold of you if they want to get a hold of you either before the conference or after the conference? What is the best way for them to reach you?
Yes. Best way is just go to my website because there's a way to book a call with me. There's all my social media profiles, all that kind of stuff is all on the website. So it's www.successmagnified.com. So
Awesome.
successmagnified.com will get you any way to reach out and connect with me. And there's some
And
great
what
free resources
social
there too.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
What social platforms are you most active on?
I'm really only active on LinkedIn. I have some profiles on the other ones, but I'm really, if you want to engage with me on LinkedIn. And my LinkedIn profile is Mary Gaul Coach, I believe. So, but if you look
Okay.
up Mary Gaul, Gaul, or Success Magnified, you'll be able to find me that way as well on LinkedIn.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I am so excited. It's 5 weeks from tomorrow.
Wow.
So I know I'm like, wow, this is coming up so fast.
Yes.
It's funny because between the March and November conference, there's like all these, this time. And then
Yeah.
for the November to the March, it's like, no, I've got time. But then we get the holidays in there. And it's
Right.
like that whole, my mind is not on the conference during that time.
Yes. Yeah.
So anyway, but I'm so excited that we're going to be able to enjoy you in person. And if you or your community has not gotten their ticket yet, you can go to empowerandelevateconference.com And if you want to use the promo code Empower, you'll get an additional $10 off the early bird ticket price.
Nice.
So feel free to share that out with everybody and look forward to seeing you in just a few weeks.
Yes, it'll be here before we know it.
It will be.
Yes.
Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to see you in March.
Yay!